Hey, I'm Tiger Lily, but I'd prefer if you call me Dara. You've come to the right place if you want to see behind the scenes of the life of a DJ, a passionate vegan, and a crazy dog mum. Welcome to my channel. Don't be a stranger. Come say hi.
Let's eat.
Let's do it.
Hi everyone.
Yo.
Welcome to the first ever
Oh, is it?
on my channel.
Oh, wicked.
Yeah.
Well, I know it's not the first mukbang ever of all time.
This is the first I think you say
Mukbang. Mukbang?
Yeah, mukbang.
Oh, I've been doing it wrong all these years.
Well, it's the first one on my channel.
Yeah, cool.
I thought you were
Epic.
a good guinea pig.
I am.
Minus the
I
bun.
am an excellent guinea pig. Anytime you want to guinea pig me with this food, I'll come around. No problem.
So we are here with James Aspey. If you guys don't know him, well, that's just a bit stupid.
That's terrible.
So you should. And today we are eating a heap of soul burger. So we've got a pulled pork, which is obviously not pork. And I think this is a fried chicken, southern fried chicken, maybe. Yeah. I forgot what these are. I think these might be...
They look like chicken tender
buffalo
things.
wings.
Oh, okay.
Buffalo
Yum.
chicken tenders.
Oh my
The
God.
chips, which we've already started to eat.
We're both very hungry.
We are.
Yeah, what's this? I don't even know. Oh, wow.
And a hot dog.
Oh, nice. That looks good.
How good.
All
And
vegan.
Yeah, all vegan and all
Excellent.
delicious. Have you tried any of these before?
I've tried this burger, the southern chicken one.
Was it good?
It's so good. That's why I was like, let's go.
Okay, my only thing is I want to try both
Yeah, of
burgers.
course.
So can we like halve them and try both?
Absolutely. That's a must. I want to try this one.
Okay, what one do you want to start with?
Let's start with the biggest one.
Okay.
Alright, cool.
We'll start with this one.
Oh, okay, sweet.
So I think with like a mukbang, we just like eat.
Mukbang.
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 Actually,
yes.
more chips first.
Oh, true. Actually,
Guys.
I'm trying them chicken tenders. Alright, so let's suss it out. Let's have a little look here.
What do you got?
Oh, look how good that
That
looks.
looks amazing.
Wow, this is a blessing right here.
Oh my god, it's got pickle in
That
it.
is thick. That is a thick
Look at Lenny.
patty. Oh, you want some too? Well, maybe you'll save you a little bit.
He
It'd
gets-
be rude not to, wouldn't
Yeah.
it?
His favourite thing to eat is the vegan magnums.
Good choice, Lenny.
I'll sit there and finish it, and I just leave like this much for him to eat, and he just sits there knowing he's gonna get like the last bit.
Actually lucky.
Oh my!
Let's have a look at this. Oh, that looks really
God.
good. I'm not usually the biggest fan of jackfruit, but
Really?
I think I'm gonna enjoy this.
Oh my god! It tastes
Yeah,
so
I don't know.
good.
It's just like
Guys, check that out. Zoom in.
yes.
Can we zoom in?
Cool. Alright, let's half this bad boy.
Yum!
Do you do the rule of if you halve it, then I get to choose which half to keep things?
Let's do it.
Alright.
Okay.
Trying to make this precise. I don't want you to get any extra.
This guy, so generous.
Alright, come on now.
I'm excited to try this too
Yeah,
because
that looks good.
I'm loving vegan sausages at the moment. Like they're just
Which ones you been eating?
2 Susie spoons
Oh yeah, wow.
and
High quality.
yeah, I know, and not so high quality. Well, just cheaper.
Yeah.
Tofurkey.
Oh, so good. They're the
Do you like
OGs.
Are they?
Yeah.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I really like those ones. I actually made tempeh with the dude who owns that whole company. His name's
Oh,
Seth. Really
what
nice
the
guy.
heck? That's so crazy.
Yeah, I went. It was so true because I went to his factory.
Yeah.
And they were making sausages and all that, but it was all plant, so it was just such a different vibe.
That's so weird.
It was cool.
Did
Anyway,
it look
let's have a
the
look at
same?
this. It all looked the same except for like no blood. Alright, here we go. Check it
Oh
out.
my god.
I'd be so jealous if I was just watching this video and not participating in the creation.
Can I start to eat?
Yeah, you can. Which side?
This side is bigger, but
That
this
side's
side
got
has
the-
more stuff on it and more base, so I kind of did it like that.
That was well done. I'll take this side, and you
Okay.
can have that one. What about you? Which one do you want?
That one.
Oh, that was so nice of you. You were just being nice then, weren't you?
I'm such a nice person.
Wow,
I
she
gave
me
him the bigger one.
Oh my god. Let's
Look,
eat more together.
You do need more calories than me, so
Oh, that's true.
it's okay.
Been training a lot lately.
Oh my god, it's such a struggle.
Alright, let's have a look here.
Yeah.
So Soul Burger. They got a couple of these going now, don't they? In Sydney?
Yeah, they have one in Randwick, in the spot.
Mm.
One in, I think this one was from Newtown.
Nice.
I haven't had it for so long.
No, I haven't had it
and
for
I
like
don't
a
know why
year.
I don't. I think because I've been trying,
The chips are
I don't know, I
good.
just try and be a bit healthy.
Yeah, I've been trying to be healthy too.
Guys, this isn't healthy food.
It's not that bad though. Like it
No.
is, but if this was actual meat and actual, I don't know if there's any like mayonnaise sauce or
Yeah,
if
there
there's
would
cheese
be.
or anything,
Oh,
it would
yeah,
be so
there's
much
mayo on
worse. So even if you're eating vegan meat and like kind of vegan junk food,
Yeah.
it's still way
It's
better
a
to
lot
eat that.
better than...
Yeah, no cholesterol,
No.
less saturated fat, none
No.
of the hormones, none of the antibiotics, none of the killing, way less environmental impact, all the protein, so it's still a way better choice.
There's literally no negative.
Nah, not.
Can you
So,
tell that we're both crazy vegans?
I'll tell you.
All right, let's
you
go.
first. I'll go with you.
Oh my god.
Whoa.
Holy shit. You're gonna die over this one.
This is so good.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's good as well, is
It's
it?
got that spicy. Do you like spice? It's like that
Big fan.
spicy Porto sauce. You know, on the
Oh,
Porto
yeah,
burgers, the
yeah,
Porto
yeah.
burgers.
That looks delicious.
Oh.
Cheese? Or is that the sauce?
I think that's the sauce.
Yum. Okay,
That's
this is really good too. Very crispy.
Thanks, Soul Burger.
Yum.
You guys
What
got-
legends.
I'd like to make my way through their menu because they have
That's a good idea.
like I was choosing those things last night online. I have like 16 different burgers.
Do they?
So many.
Well, they got.
Chicken, fish, falafel,
Yeah.
beef, pork, maybe a veggie patty. And then they
Nice.
have a plain cheeseburger, like just cheese.
Yeah. Yeah, that's so cool to. It's so trippy to be able to walk into a place and get like a chicken burger that has no chicken in it, or a cheeseburger that looks and smells and tastes exactly like a normal cheeseburger, but yeah, it's just an evolution.
Game changing,
It's
right?
so game changing. It's so good.
How long have you been vegan for?
6 years on January 1st coming up.
Oh, how exciting.
What about you?
4
I'm still a rookie.
and a
That's
half
good.
years.
4.5 years, solid. That's
Yeah.
solid. Good for
Yeah.
you.
I don't have like a date though.
Oh, we should make one.
I think it's like May. It was May-ish.
Right.
I could probably find the date. 'cause
What
I
was it? A significant day, or it just sort of
No.
flowed into it?
Well, so it was a January 1st thing that I tried to do, which is so fucking good.
Yeah. So January
Um,
1st and happened in May. Good resolution.
I like was traveling heaps at that point in time, and so I was like, I'm gonna go vegan, and like I just tried to do a cold turkey, and it just didn't work.
Okay.
Obviously, being a rookie, I'm not knowing
Were you
what to eat.
vegetarian first?
Flexi,
Okay.
so I'd try and eat vegetarian, but I'd still,
No.
I wasn't strict.
Yep.
I was still definitely eating fish.
Okay.
And then I was traveling with a girl who was pescatarian. And so that what kind of made the traveling part easier, but like I still slipped up. Like we still had fish sometimes, and there were still things like sauces with dairy product in it.
Yep.
And dairy is so bad for me. I get like 9 months pregnant in like 1 second,
Wow.
and my stomach is so like hard and sore and like just shit.
Interesting.
And we're on the plane coming back to Australia. I couldn't sleep. So I was like, all right, I'll just do some work. And I went to get some snacks because I was hungry because I wasn't in the, you know, when you're vegan, you're prepared. You're like, I'm going to bring apples and bananas and muesli bars and everything onto the flight. And I wasn't prepared. So I went up and they had like chocolates. And I was like, great. I took a chocolate. And then I ate the Twix bar. It was a Twix.
Twix.
Was it a Twix?
I remember that.
It was a Twix. And I was just like, I ate it and I felt sick straight away. And I was just like, what are you doing, you psycho? Like,
why are you punishing yourself?
seriously, pull your head in. Like, this
Yeah.
is so dumb now. Like, I'd done the research. I knew the benefits. I just needed to do it.
Cool. Then you jumped in.
So then
So it was that flight, pretty much. That was your
Yeah.
last Twix bar. That's cool. Right on, right
Thanks,
on.
Pontus.
Thanks, shitty airport food.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can score in airports though. Like, especially if there's like a Mexican place or something, and you just get a burrito with beans instead of the meat. The other day I was actually, I don't even know what country I was in at this point, but maybe it was the US, and they had the Beyond Burger for the meat in just this random Mexican restaurant.
Really?
Which was just like so good to see it permeating and just getting everywhere, making it like it's such an easy choice. Like we know that
What's
beans,
that word mean, permeate? Something like push through?
yeah, like just get out, get through kind of thing, and just get out there. At least that's how I was using it.
Means
I don't
something
know.
completely different.
Just Google that shit later. But you know, like, cause to say, yeah, just have a bean burrito, put black beans on instead of meat. I know heaps of people probably think, nah, man, that's not going to be as good as meat. And from being a huge meat eater and then eating that, I know how enjoyable it is. so delicious and so good, and you feel so much better after it.
Yeah.
And then you also feel mentally better because you know the better impact it has. But so yeah, that is a delicious thing. But then to take it to the next level and actually have the same flavor and taste and texture.
Yeah, everything exactly the
Oh
same.
my god, that's like revolutionary. That is gonna change the world, I reckon.
For me,
Yeah.
Beyond Meat is too meaty.
Like, well, that's the idea.
I know, but like I tried an Impossible Burger actually a year ago. I'm gonna eat one of these, by the way.
Okay, cool. I'm counting. Hey, I don't think about it.
And it was too real. Like I had to take the patty out.
Oh, seriously? Wow.
Yeah.
How funny. It's just wigging you out.
Oh my god.
Well, that's that. Is it good?
But fake shit like this, I love.
Okay.
Fake chicken. Oh my god.
What about prawns? You tried them?
Yeah, I don't like them.
Oh, you don't like them?
It tastes like a prawn,
Yeah.
which I've never been a huge fan of prawns.
Okay, fair enough. That makes sense.
Chicken I liked. Oh my god, this tastes like chicken.
Yeah, that's so true for you.
I don't mind the pulled pork.
Cheese, of course, I'm a sucker for.
Yeah.
Sausages, but they don't taste like beef, you know, like a beef burger tastes like blood. Oh my god.
There's blood in it, so it definitely does. Pretty weird.
I wish you guys could eat through the screen. In future,
I'm glad they can't because I want all of this for me.
there's going to be an experience where we could say, hey, we're going to do a mukbang.
Yeah.
Sign up. People sign up.
That's going to be a thing for sure.
Get the food sent. Then we eat, and there'll be like a TV screen here, and you'll see all the people eating with you.
That's going to be sick. Or like they'll hologram into the room. What's with this? We supposed to use these for our burgers? Are you one of those people? We'll
No.
put these over here. Unless you want yours. You say
I'm just
okay.
like, do we need
Do you?
anything? I don't know. Put them there just in case.
Okay, cool. Well, I might use it later.
Can you try one of those? Oh, so good.
Yes, I would be love to.
Oh
I think they just joined. That's not my fault.
no! I love this food
Oh,
so
man.
much.
Tastes like a big chicken nugget with very smoky, delicious barbecue sauce.
That's literally what it is.
Yeah.
I suppose a chicken nugget isn't necessarily chicken anyway, so like.
It's like the weirdest parts of chicken.
Well, I don't think they can call it.
Oh, is that true? Like,
I read
a certain
something that-
percentage.
Somewhere that they couldn't call it chicken because it wasn't fully chicken.
Okay, so what are they eating then?
Well, it's not just the meat, it's like
Eyeballs, feet.
a lot of everything and
Beef.
probably other animals as well.
Okay, that's actually crazy.
Kind
That's
of
a chicken cow pig nugget.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
kind of gross.
That's so disgusting. Anyway,
Yeah.
what have you been doing? Talk to
Partying.
me.
Nah, I've been
Okay.
I've been what have I been doing? I've been traveling a lot, doing a lot of speeches, attending a lot of actions.
Cool.
Yeah, it's been cool. It's been amazing actually. It's been so great to, continue seeing the world, but also like just visiting each part and seeing what's going on there in terms of progress with veganism and the animal rights movement.
Where's made the biggest amount of progress?
I think the biggest progress that I've seen is a place like Hungry Jack's having a vegan option. And that's probably the biggest thing that I've seen this year.
That's on the
Hungry
TV.
Jack. Yeah. Is it? They're advertising on TV.
Prime time, like when we're watching like Married at First Sight or Bachelor or whatever it is, some shitty
That's what you're
show.
doing? Okay.
Anyway,
Yeah.
don't judge me.
That's all good.
It's literally on, and they've got these big macho guys holding the burger, biting it, and being like, "It tastes just like meat, but it's only plants."
That's so funny.
And like these like cute girls being like, "I've never tasted a vegetarian burger like this," and it's like full.
I want to see that. That sounds cool.
Have you tried it?
I've tried it. I was a huge
Oh,
fan.
actually, I saw on
Some
Instagram
video.
you made a random try it.
Yeah.
What, how did
I was
that
in
go?
the line and I bought one for the person behind me because she didn't look like she knew what she wanted, and I just wanted to try the vegan burger. How'd it go? It tasted delicious. It tasted just like a normal Whopper.
What did she think?
She thought the exact same thing. You're eating a lot of chips over there. What's going on? I'm not watching you?
That's watching me.
Yeah, we all are. Later I'm gonna go through it and count how many we had.
I just love potatoes.
That's the best.
Yum.
I didn't eat potato before I was vegan. I avoided carbs so much. I avoided fruit, I avoided rice, I avoided potatoes.
You know
It's
what?
crazy.
It's actually weird. Before I went vegan, I never ate chips or hot chips or crisps, like cold chips.
Oh, okay.
I just thought they were bad and then didn't look at any of the other shit that I was eating. And now they're like my special
Special friend.
Like, got a special place in your heart.
Yeah, and I eat them all the time. And like people say, oh, you know, you must eat super healthy, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, not really. Like 80% of the time I eat really well, and then 20% of the time I eat shit like this, you know? And like I eat chips and I eat potatoes and blah, blah, blah. I think it's great. People are so afraid of potatoes, aren't they?
Totally. And I think that's because generally potatoes they have a ton of oil on them. And oil is actually something, ideally, if you're trying to eat healthy, to avoid.
Do you eat oil?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
But when I
cook, you don't. Yeah.
Definitely not. I just avoid it as far as possible. In fact, when I go out to eat, I'll say, can you make this without oil?
Oh, whoa.
So yeah, all the time I ask for that. And almost always they can totally do that. Because you can just use water instead. And oil is like the epitome of a junk food, basically. It's all the calories, it's alright. It's all the calories, none of the nutrition.
Yeah.
So even a tiny bit of oil adds so many calories, and it's just pure fat. So you're just like pouring pure fat on. You don't pour it down the sink, but you put it into your body. And it's just people.
If you don't pour it down the sink, hey.
But you pour it into your mouth.
Yeah.
Basically, it's
crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy because it's completely unnecessary for one, and it brings nothing positive for two. You can cook with water and get like pretty much the same result. Or even let's say you're making chips, you're making hot chips. You just chop up a bunch of potatoes, usually put a bunch of oil on it, but if you just put them in the oven, they'll still get crispy, they'll still do it all. And then that goes from being a really unhealthy meal to an extremely healthy meal. Potatoes are such a healthy food.
Do you have an air fryer?
I don't have appliances because I'm always moving, but I'm very excited to get one because they're amazing.
It's on my Christmas list.
Oh, cool.
I'm going to fry everything.
Totally.
Like, because it's good for you, right?
Yeah.
It's just air.
Yeah, I think. Well, I mean, there is oil in it. I don't actually know how it works. But you don't put it in the oil.
That's a fucking lie.
Wait, I don't know if that's true actually. I don't know if I think that's how they work. There's some oil in there and I don't know what happens.
I don't know. Well, either way, it'd be minimal oil, surely.
Yeah, it's like, I think it's definitely a healthy way to do things.
Are you happy with that half?
Why don't you cut it and I'll let you know.
Food Nazi. Oh my god. Have you travelled anywhere that's been like recently and you've been like, this is still pretty behind in regards to progress?
Everywhere is so behind. Like, in my opinion, yes. Let me see that actually. Oh, that looks so good. Alright, I think in terms of, what we know, what the information that's out there, that we can live and thrive and get every single essential nutrient we need, and probably live longer and reduce our chances of many diseases by eating a plant-based diet, which should make this diet the go-to, just the first diet that we choose. The only diet proven to reverse heart disease, the number one killer of humans, is a whole food plant-based diet. This isn't whole food right now.
Don't
ain't gonna reverse heart disease over here. But that's what the vegan diet can do if you're eating healthy. It's an amazing diet. It can reverse and help you with so many different issues and diseases.
Case in point, me.
Yeah.
Seriously.
What?
I had massive problems. I had like, not fully blown Crohn's disease, but like, there's like different steps of Crohn's disease, I think. Like the way that they described it to me as soon as I came out from the operation, when they like were looking inside, was like, it's like the younger cousin, of Crohn's disease. So it's still like inflammation in the
intestine.
Okay. Lower intestine, I think. But it's just not as like progressed and not as severe.
Right.
And so I was going to be on medication for pretty much my whole life probably. And then in like 1 year I got off it. That was like when I went vegan.
That's amazing. Yeah. So many stories like that. You must be so stoked.
So stoked.
Because that medication that you would have had consistently would have probably led to another problem where you needed more medication, which led to more problems.
It's just a stupid Band-Aid effect.
Absolutely. And it's so unnecessary because you could just eat the way your body is designed to consume fuel and you can get rid of problems like that.
It's so crazy. And like, I still sometimes have like mini flare-ups, but like for the most part, my stomach's amazing. And I was
like 90% better? Like 99%
I would say 98% better.
Wow,
yeah.
Wow.
And
that's
like,
incredible.
I haven't had a
Did that bother you every day before?
Oh, 100%.
Every
minute.
No way.
Yeah, and it'd be in constant discomfort. Like constant.
Wow.
And say if you drank alcohol or if you like had animal product or like, say if I was to eat this, which is probably kind of higher in fat and kind of higher in processed stuff, my stomach would like bug out and like I'd go for a full-blown blowout. Like it was just hectic.
That
like
really intense.
Super bloated, super painful. You don't even want to know what going to the toilet was like. It was just awful and like spewing and everything. Yeah, just hectic.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow, you were really sick.
Yeah.
For how long?
couple of years, but like, you know what it's like? It gets progressively worse, and like you don't know you're sick until you're really fucking sick. You're like, I'm fine, this is life, whatever, people have discomfort, and then one day you're like, no.
This isn't normal.
This
People
cannot be
aren't like
normal.
this. Yeah. Is everyone suffering like I am after every meal?
Yeah, so it's cool.
Wow.
It's so cool. I used to have to eat like 6 hours before I DJ'd.
Wow.
Because I'd have a reaction to whatever I was eating, and my stomach would go like this, so I'd have to wait for it to like come back down again before I went on to the show. And I was like, why is my stomach so like, I just thought that was normal. No.
So good that you realise that is not normal, and you don't have to live like that.
That is not normal. If that's happening to you, change your fucking
consult a
diet.
plant-based diet.
Yeah. Alright, I'm trying to say.
Okay, so what I was saying is, we know all of this about a plant-based diet. That information is out there. That we have absolutely no need to consume meat or dairy or eggs. We can get calcium, we can get protein, we can get iron, we can get everything we need, except for B12, which is a supplement that you can easily take that would have been found naturally in a vegan diet if it wasn't for modern practices of getting food and cleaning food and all that kind of thing. So you take a supplement or you eat food that's fortified with B12. Even meat eaters should supplement B12.
Yeah, well, they said meat eaters are just as deficient in it.
Just about, I'm pretty sure. So anyway, that's really like whatever. You just take that supplement that's perfectly healthy, super cheap and easy. You take it like twice a week or something. So you asked me, is there anywhere that's not as progressive as you expect? And yeah, like everywhere, because we have this information that our entire population could thrive and be much healthier and reduce so many illnesses and diseases and hospital visits and medication needs and early deaths and all of this stuff from eating a plant-based diet. And then we have the information out there about, even the United Nations have said the number one thing you could do to reduce your carbon footprint is to go vegan. It's the best thing an individual can do. And then we also know, a lot of people don't know this actually. They're not aware about what happens to animals.
Yeah, for sure.
They kind of know, meat, that, okay, you have to kill an animal if I'm going to eat meat, but dairy, no, don't just cows give milk and chickens just lay eggs, and they don't understand the horrendous abuse behind every drop of milk, every egg, every bit of meat, and then they think it's done humanely. And, how do you humanely slit someone's throat? That's just a word that people trying to get you to buy their products are telling you. If you put yourself in that position, would you consider it humane or the most horrific experience of your life? So like, this information's out there, it's clear, and because of the, climate crisis we're in, basically, and things are changing, and, the top scientists in the world, 11,000 of them, have said that...
Yeah, this is crazy.
We have 10.5 years now to do something drastic, otherwise we're going to reach a threshold in a temperature increase that is going to displace, I think, hundreds of millions of people and cause, we'll be warring over resources like food and water and anyway, and things will die.
About this most of all, it's the rich white men who are going to survive the apocalypse, who give zero fucks about the animals, the planet, and the people, whether they're young, unborn, or poor, or unable to, access safety in a situation like that. They're the ones that are making the freaking decisions. It's, so stupid. It's I wouldn't make a decision to do with, let's just say, male hormones. I'm not a dude. I've got no idea. I have a bit of an idea, but, if you were going to create a male hormone course, you'd get doctors on male hormones, and you'd get guys to come in and talk about their experiences, and then you've got these white rich old dudes who are making decisions for things that they just have no idea about, and they're going to be dead by the time
it's a problem.
It's a shitstorm.
Totally. Yeah.
I keep tagging ScoMo in my Instagram, being when are you going to create a climate policy, fuckhead? And
wow,
he just
nice.
doesn't see me.
Keep working on it. You might get lucky one day.
Just tag him every day.
Well, I think that's totally true, but I think, they're making decisions, but we're making decisions too.
Yeah.
We're, as individuals, we're constantly making decisions, and it's actually our decisions that have the greatest impact.
Yeah.
So if you're choosing to have cow's milk instead of soy milk, you are choosing to cause a huge amount of violence towards animals. You can't get away from it. It's behind every bit of meat, dairy, and eggs that you'll find in any supermarket. You are causing much more disruption to the environment. And like, so if
So
everybody,
you're saying the power is in the hands of the people if
100%
we
it
all
is.
made a good decision.
if everybody did
Yeah.
what vegans were already doing, which is pretty easy, like we're killing it right now. Just eating burgers, just living our best lives. If everybody just did what vegans are already doing right now, we wouldn't have a climate crisis. We wouldn't have a problem like this. We wouldn't be sending hundreds of billions and trillions actually of earthlings to their violent murder.
1 trillion. So I'm doing it. Sorry, change the subject. And a really serious topic.
Yeah.
I'm doing a speech tonight, a vegan speech.
Are you?
Yep. You can come if you want.
I'd love to.
And I was googling how many animals are killed every year because I've seen the number thrown around, but I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
Including land animals and ocean animals, it's over 1 trillion a year.
Well over. It's actually probably, from what I understand, closer to 3 trillion.
Oh shit.
2.7 trillion sea animals and 74 billion land animals every year.
Yeah, I got the 70.
You got 74, yeah. Which
Which
is
is
do you know how many
200
zeros that is?
200 million animals a day. 200 million in one day.
That's funny. I thought it was 8 billion a day, actually.
No, I'm talking about land animals, sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I don't
not
like
including
excluding fishes.
Yeah, I know. The numbers just get really hectic when
Okay, it's 8 billion earthlings are being slaughtered every day on
Every
this earth.
single
8 billion.
day.
So that's a human population every single day.
I think if you're
insane.
sorry to land animal eyes again.
Yeah, okay.
If it's just the land animals, you'd kill the human population in something like 5 days.
Yeah.
If we killed humans at the rate at which we kill animals.
Something like that.
How far?
Really sad, because it doesn't have to happen. If
Also-
everyone just do what vegans are already doing, slaughterhouses wouldn't exist.
Yeah.
If you don't know how bad a slaughterhouse is, and you actually think it's humane, you should do some Googling.
Yeah.
You watch Dominion if you're in Australia, and see the practices in Australia. Standard legal practices are absolute horror show. So violent. The animals are screaming, they're being beaten. Legally they get their beaks cut off and the egg chicks are shredded alive in a macerator because they don't produce eggs because they're males. The baby boys in the dairy industry are slaughtered because they don't produce milk. The mothers are used constantly, they get their throats slit. It's full on.
With the baby boy cows, it is legal to kill them with a blunt force to the head if they're not more than like a week old. I think if it's like a week or younger, you can just go like this and kill
Big
them.
hammer.
And it's legal.
You can also, if it's piglets,
You can, yeah,
it's called thumping. You grab the piglet by the back of the legs and you can just throw them as hard as you can into the concrete, into the floor to try to crack their skull and kill them. They do it over and over again.
Oh my God,
Legally. Animals have we don't treat them well at all. And even in the best place, they all end up at the same slaughterhouse. And this doesn't have to exist at all. Slaughterhouses could completely close down. And it's interesting, like, you asked me what I've been doing. One of the things I did recently, I went to a slaughterhouse in Indonesia.
Oh shit.
The reason, did you watch that?
I saw that. I couldn't watch it. I saw like the first. I'm really bad with this shit. I get like
traumatized
for a couple days.
Traumatized.
Yeah.
It's traumatizing for sure.
Yeah.
And isn't that interesting? It's traumatizing just to watch it. You can't even watch what they're going through. Imagine what it's like to actually go through it.
How do you be there?
Okay, so the reason why I went to Indonesia to do it, you can't, in Australia, go and see how your food is produced. They just won't let you. There's no way they would let me in to just film their humane practices.
Hi, I'm a big burger lover. Please let me in. You got fucking animals tattooed all over your body. They're like,
I don't know about you, man. I actually did that once actually in Sydney.
Really?
At a chicken slaughterhouse, and I just said, I've never seen the process, and I'm pretty sure he knew because he kept asking me questions about my job and that.
Did you have a hidden camera?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, but
Dun, 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 dun.
But I think he knew anyway, and he just let me in and he showed me a bit of stuff and whatever. But
That's pretty
But that's
crazy.
super rare, and that was just like a small operation, so that's probably why.
Yeah.
In Indonesia, so this is a place where you can walk right in. I was literally right next to the guy who was stabbing the pigs and electrocuting the pigs and the cows.
Did he look sad?
I had a conversation with him on the third. I went there 3 nights in a row, and on the third night, because they start killing at like 1 a.m, so you just stay there all night, pretty much almost.
Why did they kill in the day?
I'm not sure. It might be I only have guesses. Maybe it's to keep the animals more calm. Maybe it's I actually don't know. But that it's crazy, right?
Actually, we're in Indonesia, so it's probably to avoid traffic when they're taking the animals to the slaughterhouse.
Maybe.
Because Indonesian traffic is so bad.
Could be that. I don't know. But were they sad? On the third night, I was there just pretending that I also did the same job as them, and I was just interested how they did it in Indonesia. And on the third night, the guy looked at me because I was mainly focused on the killing part, and I was hovering over. Yeah.
They let you film.
Totally, they didn't care at all.
Whoa.
I was hovering over them basically, like I'm right next to them as they're stabbing them and doing all the things. What?
Just coming in on the gym.
Yeah, I'm watching it, I told you. And on the third night, he said to me, "Are you an animal lover?" This is translated through a friend. He goes, "Are you an animal lover?" And I said, "Yeah, I am actually." And he goes, "I thought so." And I was like, "Yeah." And then he said, I said, "Are you an animal lover?" This is the guy, right, who is, to get the pigs into the place, this is in Australia too, where they want them, they beat them. Pigs don't just like go wherever you want them to go. You have to force them. You have to.
And they don't love them. It's not like with Lenny, who's lying right next to James down here. If you want him to go somewhere, you call him, you gently guide him. If he's got his like harness on, you can give him a bit of a pull, but it pulls his whole body, so it's not like pulling his neck. We're very gentle with our animals.
Totally.
They like give zero fucks.
No, they
so
get abused.
Just like
they live miserable lives of abuse. It's horrible. Even organic free range, it's horrible. Anyway, so I said, "Are you an animal lover? Like, what about you, man?" And he said, "Yeah, I am." And so what he's doing, he's beating these animals, and then he's using these tongs that he puts like on either side of their head, and that electrocutes them.
Does that kill them?
That stuns them. So they get electrocuted, and then they just sort of have these crazy spasms on the floor, and then they get shackled upside down, and then they get stabbed in the throat, and all their blood comes out, and then they get pushed into this boiling water, which...
Are they still alive at that point?
Sometimes.
Oh my God,
sometimes. They're not meant to be, but yeah, sometimes they are. That's in Australia too. Sometimes it doesn't always work, and the line just keeps going. Another animal, another animal, another animal. They very rarely stop the line. So anyway, "Are you an animal lover, man?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "Wow, must be a tough job for you." He goes, "I hate this job. I just do it because it's all I know. I've been doing it for 4 years. There's guys here who hate this job, obviously. You know, slitting throats every day in this disgusting environment, hearing screams.
No one can love it. Or even...
Some people do, and that's another freaky thing about it.
Yeah, they should kill themselves.
Some people get there, they go do that job because they love it. They love killing. And that's the thing, like, it breeds bad vibes.
Yeah, a small percentage of them.
Sure. And then, yes, absolutely. And most of them probably hate it, just like all these guys, but they need to do that job. And we're, not us, vegans, but other people are keeping them in business by creating a demand for this product. Slaughterhouse workers have the highest rate of worker turnover, people starting a job and quitting a job, highest rate of injuries. The surrounding areas of slaughterhouses have higher rates of violent crime, suicide, drug abuse. People get messed up for life and have nightmares, and they've been abusing animals, and they're probably good people just doing a job, been abusing and slitting throats, and like it's just so horrific. And we force them to do that. We create this job for them, and someone needs to do it.
And you know what?
It's bad for humans as well.
Totally, it's so bad. I need a psychologist just having this conversation, let alone watching your video, let alone being there, let alone killing the animal. Oh my God. I actually had a really interesting situation with a friend not that long ago, and it was all about like need and demand, and like how people also need jobs. Like a lot of the people in Indonesia are really poor and they need work, right? So they don't have many options. I had like a friend in Sydney, and he works for an industry that I'm really against, like an animal industry.
Oh, okay.
And we had like a pretty big argument about it, which really sucked.
Yeah.
And I took some time out and just like, tried to empathize with him. And then I realized that like he needs a job and he feels a lot of pressure, to make money and to live up to society's expectations. And it blew my mind because I never thought I could empathize with him. And then all of a sudden, I understood exactly what was happening.
Wow.
In that society was making him need money and need status and need blah, 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 need all these things, which then made him get the job that pays well. And he puts money over his morals because I know he doesn't agree with the industry.
Right. Yeah.
And then when you empathize with the people that are like doing the deed, it makes it even more fucked because you realize that like it's just a whole systematic problem.
Yes, it is. And if even good people are gonna do it, like shit, man, it's disheartening. What are you doing? Oh, okay, yeah, that's your heart.
That is mine.
You go. Enjoy.
Yeah, if good people are doing
it's sad. It's sad. It's just a sad situation all around. But
it's pretty
to
sad.
be there actually, and you know, I've been a vegan for 6 years almost in like a month. To have been vegan for that long and heavily time invested in the animal rights movement, you know, and been to a lot of slaughterhouses, but always out the front, stopping the trucks and taking footage and photos of the animals, and you know, been inside a couple of slaughterhouses, but to have spent 3 nights there filming and just seeing how brutal it is. I think most people, if they saw that, they would feel very compelled to change their ways.
Yeah.
And then it's just a matter of, you know, most people are against animal cruelty, unnecessary animal cruelty, which is what every piece of meat, dairy and eggs is, just unnecessary animal cruelty. So then
What blows my mind
it's a matter of educating people and showing
about
them
this
that they can enjoy delicious food without all
you can
the
have
bad
a
shit.
southern fried chicken burger with no cruelty.
Yum.
It blows
I'm
my
excited
mind.
for this. Was this good?
Yeah, it was really, really nice.
Sick.
It might be the tofurkey sausages.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. Maybe not.
Ooh, good sauce. A little spicy. Yeah. What do you want to say?
What blows my mind is that people, they don't like animal cruelty, but they don't make the connection from animal cruelty to eating. Like,
Took me a while.
well, yeah, it took me 23 years.
Yeah.
It's a long time, right?
But even being aware of it, I was aware of it,
Oh my god.
and then I went vegetarian almost. I went vegetarian for health. Soon later, stayed vegetarian after watching Earthlings, a documentary that shows what happens to animals. That's USA based. Earthlings, Dominion is Australia based. The Land of Hope and Glory is UK based.
Can I tell you something? I haven't watched any of them.
How come?
I can't.
Have you seen it before? As in, like, you've seen slaughter and things like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I
Yeah,
have
some people-
nightmares.
Yeah.
Like, I have key videos that I watched. I had to stop watching them because I was fully getting depressed.
Yeah.
And like, I saw a video, like, oh my god, just these awful videos of like cows and pigs being slaughtered or having like fits on the floor and spewing, and oh my god. Oh, you just get into a hole, and obviously how Instagram works. You watch one video, next minute there's 100 videos of that same thing on your feed. And so then next minute I was just watching all these animal killing videos.
Wow.
Yeah, I just got into a heaps hectic place.
Yeah. You don't need to do that.
Yeah.
I think it's good. I personally still watch it every now and then because I want to be reminded of why I fight so hard for it.
Yeah, fair.
But you know, and some people, I think that's a good approach for even a lot of vegans, to just remind yourself, don't get too complacent and lazy. Like, let's continue being active and doing what we can do.
Yeah.
Someone like you who's really sensitive, maybe you just shouldn't watch it because it does more harm than good, and you're already motivated and doing good. Yeah, exactly.
If
But,
ever I was to like, not that I ever would, but like, you know how some people go back to eating
Yeah.
meat, I'd go watch those videos for
That's
sure.
exactly what I would recommend you to do, or even like come to Bali and go to the slaughterhouse.
So hectic.
Yeah, and like that's the thing, you know, they don't show that on the advertisement. You don't see that at the meat section. You see happy cows on the grass. You don't see the picture of the slaughterhouse that they came from. It's a really weird. Well, it's just deliberate.
But with smoking, you get the cancer and shit on the front, or even like, don't they have a dead baby on one of them?
Maybe.
I'm pretty sure they do.
That's intense.
Hectic.
Yeah, totally. What have you been up to? I haven't seen you for a year. About a year. Last time we hung out was at the sanctuary.
It would have been Thanksgiving. That's what
Yeah, it was. When's
Yeah.
Thanksgiving? It was about this time of the year.
Now, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know.
Next week.
Well, oh, is it? Wow. Wow, that's good. We did a reunion.
Oh my gosh.
It was literally like right now, a year ago that we hung out. How cool.
So we went up to Waping's Flyer. For those that don't know, I'm gonna film some videos with some turkeys, which is really cool.
That was fun.
That's actually who I'm speaking for tonight.
Yeah, what are you doing?
So
You're
it's
a vegan speech.
well, it's
Good
no,
for you.
no,
Oh.
it's well, yeah. It's like
Okay.
so they've got an exhibition. A photographer called Gary Shepherd who's done a animal photographic exhibition called
Cool.
I Am Someone
Yeah.
to try and like give people empathy and break down those barriers of disconnect for farm animals. So I'm just doing like the opening speech, but it's like 8 minutes. I'm pretty nervous.
Ooh.
I haven't remembered it all, so I'm gonna use paper, but that's fine.
Yeah, sweet. Let's practice later.
Okay.
If you want to do it.
Oh God.
Have you ever done a speech before?
Yeah.
I suppose you're kind of always up in front of
Yeah.
a crowd and
Yeah.
that, so.
And look, I used to do public speaking, so
Sweet.
yeah, I think I should be okay.
Yeah.
But so they're raising money for the sanctuary and also just general awareness for like farm animals and shit.
Cool.
But
I love the title of that. I am somebody
it's so cool.
or someone.
Oh, I have that. Belle,
I
you
don't want
need
that.
to have this.
Yeah, you should try it.
I feel bad that we haven't given you anything.
Oh, it's okay, I'm hungry.
That
What
feels
is it?
so bad. I am someone is such a good title because I like it.
Is that bacon?
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Oh my
The
God.
soul burger or?
Am I being haunted? It tastes like a nugget.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah.
Plant-based burgers, yes it
Okay.
is.
Phew.
Oh, shit.
I am someone who's so good because.
Would you kill me if I did that?
Are you kidding me?
Can you imagine?
I would
Oh my
lose
God.
it. Actually, yeah.
I would lose it as well. Apparently someone sued their friend for doing that.
No way.
So they got drunk and asked their friend to help them get food and they
Yeah.
gave them chicken nuggets and then they got sued
Whoa.
because they knew that.
I would sue you for sure.
Wow.
I would be all over that.
Me too.
I am someone who's good because that's the thing that people don't realize about animals. That they're someone, so they're people. There's people in a different body, but they got a heart, they got a brain, they got a family, wants, desires.
Yeah.
They have a language, they eat, they breathe, they sleep. It's everything like us, they're someone's. And that's like a really big thing to connect to. Because when you start seeing them as people, we're not just humans and animals. When you start realizing that humans are animals, we're all the same. Some of us have more skills than others in different ways. You know, like for us, we've got a sophisticated voice box that gave us the ability to create a sophisticated language, and that's why we've been able to build and do the amazing things we've done. Mainly just because of our voice box and creating that language.
Crazy.
It is. It's so amazing, and we were blessed with that, and that's why we've become the most evolved species in regards to manipulating our environment and technology and things like that.
Fucking our environment.
Yeah, pretty much. Such idiots. Look how smart we are. Should we just destroy our home? Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but I think when you start realizing that they're people too, and they're just like babies, you know, like there are babies, and then there's the more mature ones, but they're just so innocent and you know, it's so vulnerable. Like we have total power to dominate them if we want, but what we should be doing is trying to protect them and take care of them with all the resources and knowledge that we have. And we could do that, and instead, you know, if animals could create a religion, we would be the devil. Humans would be the devil. We're just sending them to their death constantly. 8 billion of them every day.
That's so crazy.
And yeah, and it just
There's that quote, it's like, if animals had a voice, I wouldn't want to hear what they say because it would be too terrifying.
wow,
There's
that's a
some
good one.
meme like that. Well, it's like a meme on Instagram.
I haven't heard that before.
And it's like a girl holding a pig, and she's like, in a nice way. And it's like saying that, yeah, if you could tell her what he'd seen,
Wow.
she couldn't deal with it.
That
because it would be
is so true.
Yeah.
Could you imagine if they could talk what they would say? They would lose it.
That's actually something I say in the speech tonight.
Huh?
They say that animals are voiceless, but they're not voiceless. They just don't speak our language.
Exactly.
But just because they don't speak our language doesn't make them any less than us, and doesn't and I say something about, I think you know, you don't need language to be able to understand emotions like love and joy and pain and fear. And then I say something like,
Absolutely.
hopefully these photos you can, like, you know, see the animals, like what the emotions that they're expressing at that
leading
moment.
a rich emotional life.
Yeah.
Who won?
Crazy, hey.
Good thing to add.
I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm excited
I'm
too.
a bit nervous.
Yeah.
Okay, Belle's telling us to wrap up.
Oh, okay. Sweet.
Well,
Where's that dessert? We didn't even get dessert.
what the heck? Oh my
It's
god.
lunchtime. You don't eat dessert at lunch?
Do you not? Mayonnaise. There you go.
Oh.
That's your dessert.
Okay, I'll get a spoon later.
Do you eat dessert at lunch?
No. Well, if I'm lucky. But I was just joking.
Next time. Do you have anything final that you'd like to add?
Watch the Game Changers. It's a documentary about plant-based athletes.
Did you enjoy that?
I found it very good for anyone who is not already aware that that's a thing.
Totally.
Yeah, so that was really good. Watch Game Changers. That'll just motivate you. So many people are changing their ways for many different reasons, but that's just a big one to get you excited because you're going to physically feel better and be able to thrive. And if you're a sport enthusiast or some sort of athlete, you can totally do it. And just like, yeah, man, just last thoughts. Thanks for watching. Glad that if you made it this far, thanks for sticking with us.
I wonder how many people have made it this far.
Like
We've been talking for
millions.
like 40 minutes.
What, really?
How long has it been?
Probably close to 50 now.
Oh, okay, cool. We appreciate
46.
it. We appreciate you sticking with us.
Whoa!
This is what happens when vegans get together. You just rant and they're like, alright, we've got to eat.
Seriously, and I'm like, say, my boyfriend's not vegan, and like, say if we go out with vegan friends, he's like, you can't talk about veganism. I was like, okay, cool.
That's a rule I'm definitely going to break.
We won't. And then next minute, we're just talking about vegan stuff all night, and I just see him sitting there, and I'm like, I'm so sorry. But like, you just want to talk about it.
Yeah, it's exciting.
And that's why
it's
so
an exciting
annoying.
thing. Yeah, it's exciting because
I hate us.
there's so much good that can come from it.
Yeah.
We just, and it's not a judgy thing. It's not like we think we're better than you, so we wanted to tell you all how good we are because we're vegan. No, we want everyone to do what we're doing. We don't want to be better or anything. We're very lucky that we found a way to live that exists with a set of boundaries of non-exploitation to animals that just happens to be better for the environment, better for our health, still has delicious burgers, and avoids so much suffering and killing and cruelty. And we just want to share it because what could be more important than that? It's such a all-encompassing, important, positive message. You can do it now. You can go vegan now and just start choosing soy, rice, almond, or coconut milk instead of cow's milk. Start choosing vegan options at restaurants, having beans instead of meat, trying tofu, a firm tofu, which is like a meaty texture. You can start having, I don't know, smoothies and yeah, there's just so many recipes. You can go to veganbootcamp.org or challenge. It's a new one, just come out.
Cool.
Challenge22.com and get coached for free how to go vegan. Join a group close to your area. So we're in Sydney. We could join Sydney Vegans on Facebook. What's in the supermarket? What are the good restaurants? And then any question. What if I am going to a barbecue with my family? Do I bring stuff? Do I tell them? Can I go? Like, what's the situation? And people are just so willing to help you out and get you part of the team.
Also, I think you might be a bit different to me on this.
Okay.
I think we've discussed it before. But like, I'm maybe a bit more like chilled in that like, if someone wants to be like trying 90% vegan, then that's super awesome.
I think that's super awesome.
Do you think that's super awesome too? Okay, great, awesome.
I think any step in the right direction is
awesome.
So awesome.
And I think even if you like still want to eat your eggs, or like, for now you can't give up a sausage, say, or whatever it might be.
Yeah.
Do everything else but that,
Totally.
and then all those other extra behaviors that you're doing will like make you feel so amazing, and you're probably so inspired to give up the eggs anyway, or like the sausages, or like whatever the thing is that you can't give up. And it's usually bacon and cheese, I find, like are the two most things that people can't give up.
Yeah.
So just cut out everything else except for bacon and or cheese, whatever it is, and then
try some vegan cheeses.
yeah. Oh my god.
But that's
Have you
a
tried
great
cheese?
suggestion.
Oh my god.
No, I haven't tried
so
it.
good.
That's a great suggestion. Just do what you can do today,
Yeah.
and if you can do more tomorrow, or in a month, or in a week, or in a year, whatever. When you can do more, do more. Don't think, oh, it seems so far away, so I don't even want to start. Just start by changing your milk. Just next time you're at the same supermarket you already shop at, just get the other milk. Just something simple like that has a big impact. And yeah, and one step forward generally creates momentum to another step. You don't have to stress about that. Just do what you can do, and then when you, because I'm not perfect, I still use plastic. I still do things that aren't totally ideal.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't just go vegan and then be like, cool, I'm done now. I'm living it. I'm like, alright, I'm vegan. What else can I do?
And then you open the closet and there's like Narnia in there of like shit that you can change.
And that's
What's
good.
in the water?
Totally.
What about travel?
Yeah.
What about bloody plastics? Microplastics? Oh,
yes, but I think the major totally, it's good though, because there are like more ways we can tweak our lifestyle to be more friendly to the world and others. But I think by such a long way, no matter what else your standard person is doing, nothing comes close to your consumption of animals, to you actually eating the corpses of murder victims that you paid to have killed. Nothing comes close to that. So that's like way up there. If you can just swap that, that's a massive start. Then if you want to start thinking about plastic and things, mad. But by far, if you're gonna try to become a better person in regards to ethically and your kindness towards others and compassion and avoiding contributing to animal cruelty, that's where you start. That's the biggest thing. Meat, dairy, and eggs.
And it makes you feel amazing.
It feels so good.
Look at us. We look
so
like we're
good.
glowing. It's my fake tan.
Mine too.
All right,
Yeah,
mic
cool.
drop. That's all from us. Thanks for watching, guys.
See you guys.
See ya.